guys? The Bench Buddies are back with our Elite 8 preview and picks. But before we get into those, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below as our giveaway is going to be done soon. So make sure you guys tune in for that. But we're going to also talk about last week's picks as well, or last video's picks. Ty, your worst week so far this year, 2-6. But, these games were all pretty close games and a few upsets, obviously. And, somehow I actually beat you and I went 4-4. But the Villanova and Houston wins, I just thought those teams, kind of were on a crash course to face each other at the end of the day. And now, it's just going to be interesting to see all these matchups that happen. But what happened on your end?
I sucked. A lot of unpredictability last week in these these 2 days of games. I really did not see Gonzaga losing. Obviously, not a lot of people saw Purdue losing to St. Peter's, who is just on fire right now. And then obviously Arizona going down. So just a lot of upsets in the Sweet 16. I don't know if we've seen upsets to that level this deep into the tournament like we saw the last 2 days. So it makes for an interesting Elite Eight.
In our first game tonight at 6, we have Villanova and Houston, and I am going to go with Villanova. 1, because I need them to win my bracket. 2, because I bet on them. And 3, I think this is going to be their best game of the tournament. They really got to show up here against a surging and very hot team in Houston. That record at 29-7, don't be fooled. Those 7 losses were all earlier in the year, and they really haven't had a bad loss since, I believe, January. So this Villanova team is, playing good basketball. They've been, very consistent since 2022 started. And I think that's what's going to get them to the Final Four.
I just think Houston matches up really well with Villanova. It's hard to make a lot of threes against Houston. They close out really well. Obviously, they rebound better than anyone really in the country. So I just think they match up really well. They're going to be really physical with Villanova, something Michigan just could not ever do. And one thing Houston does that Michigan didn't do is they make layups. They can actually finish at the basket. So if they can continue to do that, put the pressure on Villanova, I think Houston wins and goes back to the Final Four.
In our next game tonight, we have Arkansas and Duke. And from our picks, you can see that Coach K's career is not going to end tonight. We have Duke taking the victory. I think they will cover the spread as well if they do win this game. 4 points is a pretty low spread, but Duke is very good at closing out games, and the must bus is going to come crashing down.
Yeah, I just don't see Arkansas doing it again. There's just not enough that they do really well to beat Duke. I think Duke's going to outshoot them from 3, and Duke has the athletes to match up with Arkansas's athletes. So I look for a big game out of Paulo or Wendell Moore or somebody for Duke that's going to step up, and I think Duke will pull away late. And Coach K's last season continues.
Moving over to the Sunday games, we have the 10th seed of Miami facing off the number 1 seed in the Midwest and the only number 1 seed left in Kansas. And I have Kansas taking this one. I think Kansas, has had the easiest path to the Final Four right now. And, the Providence game, I say, is their biggest hiccup along the way. But it really wasn't even that bad. They just had a bad second half and let Providence hang around. And this one, you do face a Miami team that is making its first Elite Eight appearance. So they might be on cloud 9 a little bit early in the game. And if you're Kansas, you got to use that to your advantage, get hot early and, keep that lead for the rest of the game. And if they do that, I think they will cover the spread as well.
Yeah, I think Kansas has too much talent here for Miami. Miami's strength is their guards, and I think Kansas has great guards to match up with them. And again, another team that can shoot the 3 really well. Miami sometimes struggles with that. And Charlie Moore, I just think, is a little too undersized for this Kansas team. And I think McCormick should kind of dominate down low. So I think Kansas should – I think they covered that 7.5. I think that's a little low for this game. Miami's just made their first Elite Eight. They're already celebrating that. So I'm going with Kansas here by double digits.
And we have the best game for last, of course. St. Peter's, UNC. Even though I did bet on UNC last night and won some money, I'm picking against them here. The magical run is going to continue all the way to the Final Four. I'm going with St. Peter's. Again and again and again and here again. They're just going to keep proving everybody wrong. This 15 seed, maybe Kentucky Just kind of glad they're making this run right now because it makes them doesn't make them look as bad. And if they get to the Final Four, I mean, we're witnessing history right now, even if they lose this game. But they're just going to keep making more history and be the first 15 seed ever to make it to the Final Four.
Yeah, great matchup here. Not your everyday 8-15 matchup. North Carolina's got the potential to win the whole thing, and obviously St. Peter's already beat two great teams. I just think so. St. Peter's has made Kentucky and Purdue both fold late in the game. I don't think they're going to be able to do the same thing to North Carolina. We saw North Carolina hit so many big shots against UCLA last night. Uh, North Carolina easily could have been rattled and lost to Baylor, but they pulled that one out in overtime. So this team has a lot of clutch players that make plays. I think North Carolina sets up the first ever tournament matchup between Duke and North Carolina in Coach K's last season. I think that would probably be maybe the biggest Final Four game of all time if they match up.
And that's going to be it for the video today. If you liked it, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel as we'll be doing that giveaway soon. But until the next time, Bench Buddies are out.
She never called back.